High TV Sports, in conjunction with the National Federation High School Network, presents exciting Bellingham High School volleyball. Tonight from the Hawks Nest on the campus of Bellingham High in Bellingham, Mass, the Bellingham High Blackhawks take on the Rebels of Notre Dame Academy of Worcester in this Sweet 16 round game of the MIAA Division III State Volleyball Tournament. Hi neighbors, and welcome to our telecast. I'm Pete Royce. Well, it comes down to the final 16 left of this tournament, and Bellingham is the number one seed in this division, Division III across the state, and they have the number 16 seed coming into town tonight, the Rebels of Notre Dame Academy of Worcester. The Rebels 18-1 on the season, the only loss to Whitensville Christian. Both teams have played against Hopedale. We talked to the coach earlier today, Steve Montagani, about today's matchup. And what coach said is that the teams are ready. His team is very ready for this one. They had a struggle in their first round game against Scituate, but they bounced back and took the last three sets of that one. They took all three sets, but they were almost lost to set number one. As for Notre Dame, they're really a tremendous record, 18-1. They have one win so far, and that was over North Middlesex, 3-1, and that was the round of 32. And Bellingham defeated Scituate 3-0 in that round of 32. So here we are, the starting lineup's about to be announced to the fans on hand, and a good crowd here in the Bellingham High Gym. First, the visitors for Notre Dame. They will start a setter, a sophomore, Phoebe Doyle. They will also start an outside middle, a junior, Leah Manzi. And their libero is a junior, Captain Addison Cutting. Also starting will be on the outside hitter, will be a senior, Captain Abigail Ives. And also starting will be an 8th grader who plays outside hitter and middle, and that is Gencelis Ramos. I'm sorry, she is a sub. She is not playing. I beg your pardon. She's not playing. The next starter is senior middle player. That's Charlotte Ives. She's a captain. And finally, another setter, junior, is Dana Howling Wolf Keller. And for Bellingham, they're going to start their libero, the junior captain, Sophia Soto. They'll start a sophomore, Alyssa Rancourt. Another sophomore, Aubrey Callery. A junior, that would be Mia Milani. Another player will be a starter, will be senior captain Val Nolan. So it's Soto, Rancourt, Milani, Houston, Jacoby Houston, senior captain, I didn't mention her, and Val Nolan. Bellingham coached by Steve Montagani, and Notre Dame coached by Donna Coonan. She's in her 6th year at Notre Dame. She actually started the program at Notre Dame. And she's been here all 6 years. She was a longtime coach at Sutton High. Her assistant coach at Notre Dame is Crystal Lee Coonan, and she credits Crystal Lee Coonan, that's her daughter, with a lot of the technical drills and skills that has sharpened this team en route to their 18-1 record. And she also says about her team, they're very dedicated to the game of volleyball, and they're good listeners. How about that for a skill set, being a good listener? As we said, they took North Middlesex to get here by the score of 3-1, and Bellingham swept Scituate 3-0. The fans here at Bellingham are rising as we're getting ready to honor America with our national anthem.
And the
there you have it. The fans applauding the ending here as we're ready to go with Bellingham against Notre Dame Academy of Worcester. The officials for today's game, the R1 on top of the ladder is Brian Allen. The R2 at the net is Glenn Corwin. And 2 line judges today. At one end will be John Petritis, and the other end will be Bob Westwater. And here we go. This is the Sweet 16 round. The winner will play Weston. That's already been determined. Weston won their round of 16 over North Reading. That's a bit of an upset. Weston number 9 seed. North Reading is number 8. So Notre Dame is the 16th seed in this state, but they have an outstanding record of 18-1. Their only loss to Whitensville Christian. Both teams have played Hopedale. Bellingham swept Hopedale 3-0, and the Rebels took Hopedale 3-2. I believe it was 3-2. Yes, it was 3-2. So here we go. The Sweet 16 round. The officials checking over all the players, the rosters, the starting lineups. And we're ready to get this one underway. And serving for Bellingham will be their great, talented junior captain and libero Sophia Soto. This one is about to start here. Enjoy this game from Bellingham. We're underway. A good serve, and there's a point right away for the Hawks. 1 serve, 1 point. Sophia Soto. Our producer today is Tyler James. Soto delivers it, and that's into the net. We have the first tie of the game. We're tied at 1. We're now serving for Notre Dame will be Dana Howling Wolf Keller. Nolan slams it through, and the Hawks are back out in front by 1. Good student body on hand here. They're in the Hawks' nest. They're all standing, of course. And now serving will be Maddie D. Oliveira, the junior. She drives one that is out. We're tied at 2. 2 errant serves for the Blackhawks. To open up this game, De Oliveira comes out, and checking in is Jacoby Houston. And now serving for Notre Dame is Leah Manzi. She delivers it. Nolan on it. Jacoby Houston, the great setter for Rancourt, and she hits it into the net, and it's a first lead change. 3-2. Notre Dame with the lead now. Their first lead. 2 ties, 1 lead change early on. Continuing to serve here is Manzi. Houston, the setup. That time it's good by Rancourt. And that is out. We're tied at 3. 3 ties, 1 lead change. And now serving is senior captain Val Nolan, heading to Virginia Wesleyan University. And that is a good spike there at the net for the Hawks. Mia Milani delivers it.
Dana, you gotta go up with 2, Dana.
Second lead change of the game. 3 ties. Nolan. 4-3 Hawks. She delivers it deep. Nolan with the dig. Set up here for Milani. It's slammed, and nice block there on the net by Notre Dame. Beautiful. That's Aubrey Callery with the slam, retrieved by the Rebels. Nice dig by the Blackhawks. For Milani again, she slams it through. Mia Milani gives the Hawks their first 2-point lead, 5-3. Beautiful volley, but how about Notre Dame keeping that tough shot at the net alive? Nolan still serving, 3 straight run by the Hawks. She loops one. Dug out by Soto. Houston. Rancourt into the net. 5-4. Notre Dame within 1. And here's their libero serving. This is Addison Cutting, junior captain, the libero. Soto, one libero to the other. Callery gets the slam. Hawks by 2 again, 6-4. First set. Coming in now is Stephanie Paincho, and going out is the libero, Sophia Soto. Paincho in. Paincho, tall sophomore, along the front line. Calorie serve is true. The Rebels got to get it over. They do. Calorie digs it for Houston. For Milani. She slams it home again. What a great setup by Jacoby Houston. 7-4. Hawks with the lead. First set. It's best of 5. First 4 sets go to 25. And the 5th set will go to 15 if we get that far. Here's Val Nolan. I'm sorry, this is Aubrey Calorie serving. Houston again sets up Milani a little bit too deep. Milani goes with the drop shot. Houston with the save. This is Rancourt, gets it through there this time. Nice dig by Nolan. Set up here for Milani. She slams it, but it's returned, and it's out. The Hawks have the point. 8-4, their first 4-point lead. Aubrey Calorie, the sophomore, will continue to serve. So glad you're with us, fans, on ABMI, and we're streaming coast to coast on the National Federation High School Network. Calorie serve is deep. Houston, Calorie, Rancourt. Houston for Milani. She drills it deep. Good cheer there by the libero, cheering her team on after she made the dig. Little drop shot there, a beauty by Paincho. And the Hawks have their first 5-point lead, 9-4. Notre Dame Academy plays in the Central South region in Worcester. Hawks, of course, in the Tri-Valley League. Deep ball is good. It's in play. 10-4. An ace by Aubrey Calorie. And the official, the R1 at the top of the net, is Brian Allen on the ladder. 4 officials for this state tournament game. Here's Aubrey Calorie serving. It ticks the net. Milani, the setup for Houston. Back to Milani. She slams it home again. No, they say it was out. I beg your pardon, it was out. Five-point run ends, and now this is the very talented Phoebe Doyle, the sophomore. Here's Milani, goes deep, and that is out. 2 in a row for the Rebels, 10-6. Coach Coonan was very high on this player serving, Phoebe Doyle. She's a setter. She's also very tall at 6'2". Ticks the net but goes over. Houston can't get it. That's another point. 3 in a row for the Rebels. They've cut the 10-4 deficit to 10-7. This is Phoebe Doyle. Crowd calms down for the moment. Doyle serve. Houston for Milani. She's deep. She drills it, and there that blocks the run ends the run at 3. And the Hawks have it again, 11-7. And coming in is Maddie DeOliveira, and going out is Jacoby Houston for Coach Steve Montegani. Now serving is Alyssa Rancourt, the sophomore. Alyssa drills it. That might have been heading out, but it was picked off. The slam into the net by the Rebels, and the Hawks have it by 5 again, 12-7. Their biggest lead was 10-4 by 6. Point here can tie that lead. This is Rancourt serving. Picked out there by Rancourt. Milani, she's going to slam it. That's out. And that's a 12-8 score. Just over that back line. Line judge right there on the call, John Petritus. Now serving is going to be Abigail Ives, one of their captains. Blocked on the beautiful block up front. Rancourt, Milani, and that is out. It's a 3-point game, 12-9. Continuing to serve is Captain Abigail Ives, senior. Nice dig there by Nolan. Beautiful play by Milani, but it's picked. Into the net, unforced error there. The Hawks by 4, 13-9. Sub coming in, the first sub for Notre Dame. It's Mirella Gruby. Gruby coming in, Grubii. Milani drives one deep. Rebels got to get it over. They do. Milani with the dig. This is Nolan. She slams it down. That's true. The point for the Hawks. They lead it by 5, 14-9. You can see why Notre Dame is 18-1. Very technically sound team. They have some good height too. Here's Mia Milani serving. Drills it. That's not returned. The Hawks tie their largest lead again at 6, 15-9. We're in the first set. Timeout called by, I believe, head coach Donna Coonan of the Rebels of Notre Dame Academy. Taking a look at the Bellingham record. Coming in today, there's 17 wins and 2 losses. The loss was to Attleboro, 3-2, and to Winchester, 3-0. But of their 17 wins, 13 have been sweeps. That means 3-0. They did not lose a game or a set in those matchups 13 times, including the first round game, the round of 32 against Scituate. And for Notre Dame, they're 18-1. Their only loss to Whitensville Christian. And looking on the bracket, the winner of today's game will play Weston, who defeated North Reading already. That was yesterday. And so Weston has moved on, and they're in the Elite Eight, and that they await this winner. I would imagine some Western players or coaches are here tonight. Here's Mia Milani serving. The Hawks lead at 15-9. We're in the first set. And that's a point. This is the largest lead of the night for the Hawks. 16-9. They have it by 7. Mia Milani serving. Remember, she missed a couple of games just prior to the playoffs with an injury, but she came back strong against Scituate, and she's in good condition here tonight. That's according to her coach, Steve Montagani, before the game. Oliveira slams one home, and the Hawks have it by 8, 17-9. A big difference today than the game against Scituate is Bellingham and Scituate were down to the wire. Bellingham pulled it out 25-23. But right now, the Hawks have an 8-point lead, 17-9. This is Mia Milani serving for Bellingham. To that back line. The Rebels got to get it over. They do. But it's out too far over. 18-9. Bellingham doubling up on Notre Dame Academy of Worcester. 6 straight run by Mia Milani serving. Goes over the back line, over the line from the back line. Drilled down there, and a nice play there by Val Nolan. Hawks by 10, 19-9. Sub coming in for Notre Dame, Abigail Ives. And coming out will be Mirella Gruby. Montagani serving. She's run 7 straight. She loops one. Right along the net. Slam down. Milani with the dig. Rancourt for Kane Show, and the Hawks have another point. They lead it 20-9. Mia Milani, 8 straight points run by the Hawks off her serving. And that breaks it at 8. Into the net it goes. It is a 20-10 game. Now serving for Notre Dame Academy of Worcester will be Gencilis Ramos. This is she with it. Good serve to Nolan, to Rancourt. It's slammed there by Nolan off the net, and the Hawks have the point. Back to 11, 21-10. This is Sophia Soto back in there serving, the libero in the white sweatshirt. She drills it. Nice dig by Soto. Ran court. Calorie up high off the rafters. It's in play. And that's out. And the Hawks have it by 12. 22-10. Remember, early on there were 3 ties in the game and 2 lead changes. The last tie at 3-3. Since that point, Bellingham has not trailed. And a timeout called by Coach Donna Coonan. Coonan has started the program here at Notre Dame. This is her 6th year. And her daughter is Crystal Lee Coonan, and she's the assistant coach. Bellingham on the verge of closing out set number 1. They lead it 22-10. The big run was by Mia Milani serving when she ran off 8 straight points. The Hawks earlier had a 7-point run, but the 8 straight was their record, their high for game number 1. This is the Sweet 16 round in the MIAA Division III State Volleyball Tournament. Nice crowd on hand here from the Bellingham High Gym. And serving for the Hawks again will be Sophia Soto. And the Hawks Nest cheering section has grown since the game has started. They're all standing on that far side. Soto addresses the ball and delivers it. Into the net, the Hawks by 13, 23-10. Well, Coach Montagani told us before the game, you may have caught it, that his team is up for this game. And there's an ace. Set point for the Hawks, 24-10. Sophia Soto to close it out. She does just that. The Hawks win it, 25-10. So they end on a 5-point run to make it 25-10. Set number 1. The teams now, as they do in volleyball, switch sides. The bench actually moves. And we get ready for the second set, or second game, if you will. Bellingham now takes set number 1, 25-10. It was fairly close for a while. In fact, at one point it was 5-4 Bellingham. From that point on, the Hawks just opened it up and poured on the pressure here. Looking at the Bellingham High roster, besides the starters, we'll mention some of the other players. Maddie De Oliveira, Haley DeTore, Emma Barreto, Caitlin Herbert. She was out last year, a terrible injury, but she's been coming back slowly. Stephanie Paincho has seen action tonight. Lila McGilvery, Maggie Medeiros, Kaylee Simpson, and Mia Bartuca for Coach Steve Montagani. So glad you're with us, fans. We're on the National Federation High School Network from Maine to Maui tonight. They have about a 3-minute break here between games or between sets. Taking a look at the volleyball bracket, the number 1 seed are your Bellingham High Blackhawks. The number 2 seed is Medfield. And Medfield and Bellingham have played 2 times already today. They're the number 2 seed. And Bellingham defeated Medfield twice this season, I should say. The number 3 seed is going to be Joseph Case out of Swansea, Mass, just east of Providence, Rhode Island. And the 4 seed is Linfield High. So those could be your final 4. Bellingham, Medfield, Linfield, and Joseph Case. Bellingham would not meet Medfield unless it was a finals because they're in different brackets. Bellingham would meet the 4 seed Linfield, and if Linfield goes that far, and if Bellingham goes that far, and on the other side of the bracket, if Medfield and the 3rd seed goes, that would be a Medfield Joseph Case matchup in the final 4 if they both get that far. Now into the game for the Hawks is Emma Barreto. Barreto into the game for Bellingham. Ella Burrito. Ella Burrito. Just check that. Also in the game for Bellingham is Kaylee Simpson, the sophomore, very athletic person. You'll enjoy her play out there. And now she's going to come out and be replaced by the libero, Sophia Soto. We don't see any subs in there for Notre Dame Academy of Worcester. Now they do sub out, and their libero will come in, and that would be Addison Cutting, and coming out is Charlotte Ives. And this will be serving here would be Notre Dame, Dana Howling Wolf Keller. And she delivers it. It's true. Soto with the dig. Houston with the tip over. Dropped in and in. Inbounds. That's a lead. A lead for the Rebels. 1-0. Brian Allen up top making that call. He had a good look at it. Continuing to serve is Dana Howling Wolf Keller. Skims over the net. Hits the rafter. That's going to drop. It's a 2-0 lead. And this is the first 2-point lead for Notre Dame tonight. They led by one on 2 occasions in the first game, but that's been it. Serve is true. Milani with the nice dig. Houston for Calorie. Retrieved by their libero. Beauty. Slammed in. That's a 3-0 lead. 3-0 for Notre Dame. They've come out firing here in the second set. And still serving is Dana Howling Wolf Keller. 3-0, Notre Dame Academy of Worcester. Soto. Nolan. And that's a point for the Hawks, finally. I was a little bit early on the call. I'm sorry. It was still being bobbled about. 3-1, Hawks down. And they're serving for the first time this game, Val Nolan, the senior. Delivers it. That's true, and that's out of bounds. The Hawks within 1. 3-2. If the Hawks score, this will be the first tie of this game. First game had 3 ties and 2 lead changes. Val Nolan, next year heading for Virginia Wesleyan University. She drills it just over the net. A set up here. Slammed, and that's out. And there's our first tie of the game. 3-3. 1 tie. And coming in now for Notre Dame will be Abigail Ives. And going out will be Mirella Gruby. Oh, I'm sorry. They gave that to Notre Dame. I beg your pardon. No tie. It's 4-2. And another point for the Hawks now, so it's 4-3. Hawks trail it 4-3. And that's going to be another point for the Hawks. And now we have our first tie at 4. This is Sophia Soto serving for Bellingham. 4-4. She drops it to the back line, and that's a point for the Hawks. And that's our first lead change. They have it 5-4. And this is about where they took off in game number 1. They led it 5-4, and then they just kept building from there. See if they can do the same here. Nice block at the net by Simpson. And that's going to be blocked by Simpson again. Beautiful. Back to Milani. It's blocked, and that's going to be a point for Notre Dame. And we're tied at 5. Second tie, 1 lead change. Back into the lineup is now for the first time is Lauren Killam. This is their libero serving. Addison Cutting. And that's retrieved. Hawks going to get it over. They do not. And it's a 1-point lead again. Second lead change, 6-5. Notre Dame serving Addison Cutting, junior captain, libero. Spins the ball. and delivers it into the net short. We're tied for the third time at 6. Now coming in is Maddie D'Oliveira, and going out is Ella Barrito, and serving is going to be Alyssa Rancourt, the sophomore. Rancourt trying to give the Hawks a lead. Delivers it deep. High in the air. Set up. Rancourt for Simpson. Rebels get it over. Rancourt for Milani. She just tips it, and it's off the post, and that's out. And that's a 1-point lead, 7-6. This is the latest that Notre Dame has had a lead in the first 2 games. They did not lead this deep into a game in game 1. Their serve is true. Milani digs it out. Set up here for Mia. She slams it, and that is good. Nice slam. The 4th tie of the game. We're tied at 7. Serving for the Hawks will be Mia Milani. 7-7 your score. We're in set number 2. Milani drills it, and there's an ace. 3rd lead change. The Hawks have it by 1. First game we had 3 ties, 2 lead changes. Here 4 ties, 3 lead changes. Much closer. 8-7 Hawks. Milani delivers it, and that is out. We're tied for the 5th time. 8-8. Serving here will be Abigail Ives. 8-8, second set. Ives delivers a looper. Soto, Rancourt, Simpson. Kept in play nicely by Notre Dame. Soto with the dig. Rancourt for Nolan. Into the net. It's no good, and it's a point for the Rebels. They lead it 9-8. 4th lead change of the game. Continuing to serve is Abigail Ives, one of their captains, a looper. Milani goes down on a knee for it. D'Oliveira drops one, and that's a point for the Hawks as Notre Dame went into the net. 6th tie of the game at 9. 9-9 here in the second set. Serving will be sophomore Kaylee Simpson. And it's into the back line there, and the Hawks have a point. 5th lead change. They have it 10-9. 6 ties, 5 lead changes in this game. A 1-point game. Simpson. And a nice slam there, a beauty by Leah Manzi. And we're tied at 10. 7th tie of the game. And serving will be Lauren Killam. Milani, Rancourt, Calorie drops one to the back line. Tough play along the net. It's drooped in. Maddie Oliveira with the save for Milani. For Nolan, corner. It's hit back. They have to chase it down, and they do get it over. Back for Nolan. Here's Valerie. She slams it down. It's retrieved. What a volley here. And a nice play at the net by Calorie. It's still alive. This is the best volley of the game. D'Oliveira slams it home. It's still dug out. A great volley ensuing. Rancourt for Nolan. She drops it on the side. It's retrieved. It's going to be Aubrey Calorie. The volley of the game ensuing here. Over a minute, I would believe. And it's going to be a point here for Notre Dame. What a hard-earned point. 6th lead change. Continuing to serve Charlotte Ives, 11-10 Notre Dame. What a volley that was. Soto with a quick dig. Calorie slams it, and that's going to be out. And we're tied at 11. 8th tie of the game. Eighth tie at 11-11. Coming in is Jacoby Houston, and Maddie DeOliveira comes out. In the game also for Bellingham is Ella Barreto. Here's Jacoby Houston serving. 11-11, second set. Bellingham won the first set. Soto with the dig. Houston for Nolan, and she just rockets one. The Hawks by 1. Seventh lead change, 12-11 Bellingham. 8 ties, 7 lead changes. What a match here. This is Houston. Milani with the dig. Houston with the setup for Nolan. She drives it. Nice dig out by Notre Dame. Beautiful. Soto with the dig. Houston with the setup for Nolan again. Over the net and good. The Hawks by 2, 13-11. Pete Royce with you here from Bellingham High. This is the Sweet 16 round game between number 1 seed Bellingham and 16 seed Notre Dame Academy of Worcester. Jacoby Houston serving for the Hawks. 13-11 Bellingham. Hush comes over the gym. Houston delivers it deep. Set up here. Drilled back, and that is out. The Hawks have it. Milani wanted to go for it. The last minute she let it go, and a good call by Mia. It was out. 14-11 Hawks. It was not this close in game number 1. The Hawks took it 25-10. Already Notre Dame had 11 points, and we're still playing. Into the net, an unforced error. The Hawks by 4, 15-11. And they'll sub out a player now. Coming in for them, I believe for the first time, is Natalie Williams. Williams is a sophomore. And coming out is Dana Howling Wolf Keller. Jacoby Houston with the serve. Into the net. It's another point for the Hawks. 16-11. And timeout called by Coach Donna Coonan. So this game has been interesting. 8 ties and 7 lead changes. The last Notre Dame lead was 9-8. Then Bellingham tied it at 9, went ahead 10-9. Then was tied at 10. Oh, I beg your pardon. Notre Dame led 11-10. But from that point on, it's been all Bellingham with 6 straight points. 6 straight to bring up a 16-11 score. As we said, the winner of this game will play in the Elite 8 game, and that'll be against Weston. If Bellingham wins, that'll be here in Bellingham. If Notre Dame wins, that would be at Weston. A date and time has not yet been established as of airtime here tonight. So here we go. We're in the second set. Bellingham won the first one 25-10. Jacoby Houston getting ready to serve. Notre Dame ready to receive. Houston's serve is true. Notre Dame's got to get it over. They do, and it's retrieved by Soto. Nolan with a nice slam. The Hawks with their 6th point in a row. Sorry, 7 in a row. They were down 11-10. It's now 17-11. Houston with this run of serves. True again. Little drop shot hits the rafters up there. Bellingham retrieves it. Nolan with a big slam. Hawks 18-11. 8 straight run by Bellingham. Big run brewing here for Jacoby Houston serving. Such a great server for Bellingham. Barreto with the dig. Back to Barreto. Ella drops one back, and that's going to be out. And that ends the streak, and it's 18-12. Eight-point run for Bellingham. And coming in now for the Rebels is Dana Howling Wolf Keller, and she will serve. 18-12 is your score. 8 ties and 7 lead changes in this game. Soto with the dig. Houston near the net. Burrito gets it over. Back to Soto, and that's over. Jacoby Houston, players looking at each other for a moment. Into the net is too low, and the Hawks have it. 19-12. Val Nolan serving. Second set, 19-12. Good serve by Val. Oh, and Soto went for it and could not get to it. It's a point for the Rebels. 19-13. Checking back in for Notre Dame is Abigail Ives. And serving will be Leah Manzi. Manzi, a junior, delivers it. Soto and Milani team up. Back from Milani, and that's off the Rebels. That's a point for the Hawks. They lead it by 7, 20-13. Much closer game. First game was 25-10. 20-13, and serving for the Hawks in a bit we'll see, but it's timeout called by Coach Donna Coonan. The second set so important. If Bellingham maintains this pace, they could take a very strong 2-0 lead. Of course, it's never over. You might recall, fans, you Bellingham fans, that Bellingham was on the road at Medfield earlier this season and trailed it 2-0. That was game number 3 on the season and pulled it out. 3 straight sets. So it's not over if Notre Dame loses this set, but what a big advantage for Bellingham if they continue on and build this lead, which right now stands at 7. We're in the second set. Sophia Soto will be the one serving. Hawks 5 points away, potentially, unless it gets to a 24 all. Then you have to win by 2 here in volleyball. Here's Soto with the serve. It's true. Going to the back line. It's got to go over from the back line. It does. Houston sets up Barreto. Set up on the right side. That's good, and that's going to be a point for Notre Dame. 20-14. They're very much in this game. Coming back in now is Lauren Killam, and the libero will be Addison Cutting, and she'll be serving for Notre Dame Academy of Worcester, the 16th seed in the tournament against number 1. She spins the ball and delivers it. Just ticks the net. Soto for Milani, hesitation move, and she drills it high off the top of the ceiling. It bounces back, and the Hawks have the point. What a slam by Mia Milani. 24-14 Bellingham, and Alyssa Rancourt comes in along with Maddie Oliveira, and Ella Barreto and Jacoby Houston come out for Coach Steve Montagani. Now serving for the Bellingham Blackhawks will be Alyssa Rancourt, the sophomore. 24-14. Rancourt drills it. That's going to go backwards. What a great serve there. 22-14. The last tie was at 11. Since then, Bellingham has won all the points but 3. They've taken it 11-3 in the last run. Rancourt tips the net. Soto with the dig. Rancourt for Milani. She slams it, and that's a point for the Hawks. 23-14. Alyssa Rancourt, the sophomore. She's a starter for Coach Steve Montagani. She delivers it high off the basketball extension up there. Comes back. Rancourt for Soto. And Maddie D'Oliveira with a nice finesse shot. And that's going to be in play. The Hawks for Milani. She tips one. And that's going to be in play. Again, set up here for Mia. She has to go low, and she does, and drops one in. A beautiful shot by Mia Milani. Hawks at set point, 24-14. Alyssa Rancourt looking to close it out. What a play by Mia Milani. She has such an instinct for this game. The drill there by Rancourt. And that is out, and the Hawks win it 25-14. So they take it the first two sets 25-10, and this one 25-14. Much closer than the first game. We'll go over the ties and lead changes in a moment. 25-14. So we move to the third set. It's best out of 5. If Hawks win it, it's all over. If Notre Dame wins it, we play on. In that set, there were 8 ties and 7 lead changes. That's how close it was. In fact, the last tie was at 11. The last lead change was 12-11. From that point on, the Hawks have been really strong and only gave up 3 points while scoring 14 on their own side of the court. The Hawks took the first set 25-10, but it was much closer as we had. I'm sorry, it wasn't as close as this last set was, but it was close for a while. In fact, the last tie was at 3-3, and then the closest that Notre Dame came in that first set was 5-4. Here they led 11-10. That's the difference, how Notre Dame has tightened up its game here tonight. Notre Dame Academy of Worcester 18-1 on the season, the 16th team in the tournament against Bellingham 17-2 on the season, and the number 1 seed in this Division III MIAA State Volleyball Championship. So glad you're with us, fans, here on ABMI and on the National Federation High School Network. Pete Royce with you courtside from Bellingham. We'd like to thank our producer and our director here today is Tyler James. Fans now relaxing a little bit. The student section, called the Hawks Nest, they stand for the whole game, but in between periods they do sit down to kind of get themselves a little bit of a breather. And so we'll see how their energy lasts. They've been in good number here tonight at the far end of the court, on the opposite end from we are on the scorer's table. And we're just less than a minute away from starting this third and possibly final set. Bellingham has to win one more out of potentially 3 to move on to the Elite 8, and they'll play Weston. If Bellingham wins a set more tonight, they'll host Weston. Weston is the number 9 seed. Weston defeated North Reading, an 8th seed, to get to the Elite 8. And that game was played yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. It's certainly in the books already with the victory for Weston. So Bellingham 17-2 on the season. 13 of their victories were 3-0 shutouts. And right now they're looking to make it 14 shutouts and 18-2 on the season. Remember, last year, the year before that, Bellingham went to the state finals, losing both times to Ipswich. And here we go in the third set from Bellingham, Mass. And let's see here, sub coming in for Notre Dame. Coming in will be their libero. That's Addison Cutting. And the Hawks, I believe, will get the ball to serve for this third and potentially final set. We will see. And coming out is Caitlin Herbert. She was in there, the lineup for a moment. She's replaced now by Sophia Soto, who will serve to get this. No, Soto comes out now, and it's Herbert back in. Caitlin Herbert. It's great to see Caitlin in there. She has been so injured last year, a devastating injury. You can see the big tape on her right knee. Goes all the way down to the high ankle. This is Caitlin Hebert. She delivers one. And there's a point for Hebert. And that's going to feel great for Caitlin Hebert. Hawks lead it 1-0. Hebert just easing her way back into action. She sat out so much of this season with that devastating injury last year, just before the playoffs. This is Hebert. I'm sorry, it's Herbert, not Hebert. And it's a lane violation here against the net. They had the back row player out of position, and so the Hawks will get the point. And assistant coach Crystal Lee Coonan comes in for an exclamation from Brian Allen. And Allen is now along the sideline, and up on the ladder is Glenn Corwin. That ball is alive, and that's going to be over for the Hawks. Good volley for Bellingham. Into the net, the Hawks open up a 3-0 lead to start this one. They did not have a 3-0 lead in any of the games. In fact, they fell behind 3-2 in the first game and 3-0 in the second game. They've turned the tables. Caitlin Herbert serving. A little nice tip there by Val Nolan. It's a 4-0 run to start the game under the services of Caitlin Herbert, the junior. This has to feel real good for Caitlin, serving here and giving her team this lead. She drills one, a 5-0 lead out of the box for Bellingham. Sub coming in is Dana Howling Wolf Keller, and coming out will be Natalie Williams for Notre Dame. Caitlin Herbert, 5-0 Bellingham. The third set, she spins the ball and delivers it deep. High it goes on the first hit. And that's up along the net. Milani gets it over to Herbert, who makes the play. A slam there by Val Nolan. The Hawks 6-0 off the servicing off the bench of Caitlin Herbert. And a timeout called by Coach Donna Coonan. This has to feel delightful for Caitlin Herbert. She's brought the team to a 6-0 lead in the first 6 plays of this third set. Bellingham took the first one, 25-10, which was close for a while. And the second game was even closer with 8 ties and 7 lead changes before Bellingham opened it up towards the end of the set. 6-0. Can't say enough about what's happened to Caitlin Herbert. She's been easing back into action, and she's serving here, and she actually had a play at the net which resulted in a point as well. Caitlin Herbert with that big brace on her right knee. We're ready to go here. Glenn Corwin is the referee one, R1 up on the ladder. And that breaks the run on a nice point for Notre Dame. They trail it 6-1. And the libero will come in, and Caitlin Herbert comes out, and she gets some nice high fives from her teammates. Opened up a 6-0 lead. Now serving is Dana Howling Wolf Keller. It's into the net. The Hawks have it by 6 again, 7-1. And coming in now for the first time is Maggie Medeiros. And also Jacoby Houston is back in there. So Coach Madagani going to his bench. Maggie Medeiros, the senior, in action now. Jacoby Houston will be serving. Nolan's out there. Callery. Sophia Soto. Mia Milani. Here's the serve. It's high. Drilled there. Milani with a nice dig for Houston. Hawks going to get it over. Soto does so to their libero. One libero to the other. A little drop shot is played. Now the slam by Callery. The Hawks right on their game here in this set. They lead it 8-1. Aubrey Callery unloaded. Jacoby Houston, she had that big run in one of the earlier games serving. Back at it, one of their best servers, Houston, and she drills it back, and that's going to be a point for the Hawks. They lead it 9-1. Jacoby Houston, the senior, the captain, with the ball. Hawks have only given up 1 point in game 3, and it's into the net. There's their second give up. 9-2, a rare miss for Jacoby Houston. And coming back for the Rebels will be Dylan Beretti. And coming out will be Mirella Gruby. Here's the service by Leah Manzi. Set up for Soto. She actually took advantage of the play. Dropped in, tipped at the net. Soto with a set up. Slammed down, it's retrieved. Dug out by the Rebels. Slammed there on the net was a great play by Nolan and Calorie. And that one is drilled by one of their better players, Phoebe Doyle. 2 in a row for Notre Dame. They trail it 9-3. Leah Manzi, the junior, continuing to serve. It's an outside hitter. Deep down there, Nolan digs it for Houston. Oh, a nice little play by Calorie. Shifted her strategy on that one. Back to Soto. Houston. Nolan back. It's a point. 3 in a row for Notre Dame. They trail it 9-4. Remember, they started in a 6-0 hole. Serving is Leah Manzi, the junior. 9-4. And that's short, way short. Hits a teammate. 10-4. Unforced error there for Notre Dame. And Val Nolan will have the service honors for Bellingham. Coming back, I believe, is Dana Howling Wolf Keller. Here's Nolan with the serve. It's into the net. Unforced error there. 10-5. Both teams into the net on their last serves. Now their libero, Addison Cutting, will be serving. 10-5. This is the third game. Cutting for Soto. Houston. Milani slams it high up on the top near the roof. Drop down. Houston. That's off the rafter. Soto. Milani slams it high, and that's still in play. How about this volley? It's hit rafter after rafter, and Calorie slams one home. 11-5 for Bellingham. We've had balls off the rafters, off the girders, off the awnings, whatever is up there. Coming in now is Caitlin Herbert again. Herbert in there. Serving Aubrey Calorie. She's had a good night. Here's Calorie. Drops one to the back line. Had some great volleys tonight. That goes over by Phoebe Doyle. Houston. Herbert tips it. Nice dig by Calorie for Houston. Milani in the corner. That's in. The Hawks lead it 12-5. Remember, the second game went to 11-10. Notre Dame with the lead before the Hawks finished up strong. Outscoring Notre Dame, I believe, 14-3 in the final go-round. That one is in. An ace. 13-5 for Bellingham. Aubrey Calorie with the serve. Aubrey drops it to the back line. High again. It tipped over by Doyle. Milani goes deep. Retrieved by Cutting. Doyle. Oh, she's got talent. Phoebe Doyle makes it 13-6. Aubrey Calorie comes out. And into the game is Jacoby Houston. As it's going to be Notre Dame serving. This is the talented Phoebe Doyle, the sophomore setter. She drills it. Soto with the dig for Nolan, for Milani. It's off a fingertip, and it's a point for the Hawks. 14-6. Coming into the game now for Bellingham is Haley DeTore, the senior. DeTore also coming in is going to be Mia Bartuca. Coach going to his bench, and Mia Bartuca will serve for the Hawks. This is the junior, Mia Bartuca. Mia gets it over. High off the rafter. It's bouncing around back there. That's going to be 4 hits. 4 hits for Notre Dame. The Hawks have it 15-6. Bartuca delivers it again. Back to Nolan. Set up here for Milani. She soars up and she buries it. 16-6, Mia Milani. Hawks with a 10-point lead, and still serving is Mia Bartuka, inserted into the lineup. And that's over the net. It's a point. It just trickled over. 17-6. Mia Bartuka, the junior. Hawks by 11. They won the first set 25-10, the second set 25-14. Here's Mia Bartuka with the delivery. That's a looper. Tough play on that. It's in no man's land, and the Hawks by 12, 18-6. Timeout called now by Coach Donna Coonan. She has to regroup the Rebels. They played volleyball for 6 years at Notre Dame, and she's been there at the helm. She instituted the program at Notre Dame, the longtime Sutton High coach. The Rebels, the 16th seed, their only loss to Whitensville Christian. Both teams played Hopedale. Bellingham swept Hopedale 3-0, and Notre Dame defeated Hopedale 3 games to 2. So we're in the third set. Bellingham leads at 18-6. They gave up 10 in the first set, 14 in the second set. But here there have been no ties and no lead changes after a bunch. 8-7 in the second set, 3-2 ties and lead changes in the first set. Here, nothing. Bellingham has led from start to this point. And again, it will be Mia Bartuka, the senior, the junior, delivering the ball for the Hawks. Bartuka. Hawks on a 5-point run. And it's into the net. So an unforced error there, and it's 18-7. 11-point run, lead. Serving will be Abigail Ives, the senior captain. This is Abigail. Loops one. Soto. Bartuka. And that is Herbert. It's out. And it's a point, 2 in a row for Notre Dame. They trail it 18-8. 2 straight. Service is good. Herbert drills it. Tipped over. Milani keeps it alive. Back to Mia. She slams it there. It's going to go way back and out of play, and the Hawks have the point. They lead it by 11, 19-8. And a couple of subs coming in for Coach Coonan. Coming in will be Abigail Ives. Also coming in, Dana Howling, Wolf Keller, and Leah Manzi comes in. So here we go, 19-8. Milani serving for Bellingham. They lead sets 2 straight. Milani into the net. Unforced error. Rare one there from Mia. It's 19-9. Ball goes over to Notre Dame, and with it will be Lauren Kilham. 19-9. We're in the third set. Kilham drills it deep. Dug out. There's a nice shot there by the Hawks. That was Haley DeTore, and the Hawks get the point. 20-9. Audrey Callery comes in, and Soto comes out. So Haley DeTore is in there for Bellingham, and serving will be Caitlin Herbert. Drills it back. And that ball is out on a launch there by their libero, Addison Cutting. 21-9. Hawks by 12. This is the third set. Caitlin Herbert drills it deep. Milani with the nice tip shot there. A beautiful play by Mia Bartuka to make it 22-9. Mia Bartuka off the bench to make that little tip shot. And Caitlin Herbert continues to serve. And that's a nice point on a nice shot there by Leah Manzi. And it's 22-10. Hawks by 12. And serving will be Phoebe Doyle, the sophomore setter. 22-10, Bellingham with the lead. This is the third set. Doyle, and that is out. Hawks have it, 23-10. And try to closing out now for Bellingham will be senior Haley DeTore. DeTore over the net. Tip there, and that's in play. Soto makes the play for the Hawks. What a play by Sophia Soto. Phoebe Doyle hits it out of bounds. The Hawks at game point. Match point. The Hawks by 14. Haley DeTore can close out the night and move Bellingham on to the Elite 8 round. DeTore's serve is a looper, and that is out. We play on. 24-11. Notre Dame still has life in this game. Leah Manzi will try to keep them going. They cannot afford any errors. What pressure on Notre Dame. 24-11, this is the third set. Leah Manzi delivers it. It's retrieved. Houston with the setup. And that slammed back, and it's still alive for the Hawks. Tipped over by Nolan. Cutting. Phoebe Doyle, and that is in. And we're still playing, 24-12. Close, but inbounds on that slam. This is Leah Manzi serving, 24-12. Manzi over. Again, any false move and the match is over. This is a nice play there by Medeiros. Phoebe Doyle gets it over for Soto, for Houston. Callery tries to close it out, cannot. And that's still in play. Houston with the save. Here's Soto. To the back line it goes. Deep off the rafters and down and in play. Doyle. Soto with a diving dig for Nolan, and she slams it to win the night. The Hawks win it in straight sets again. A sweep. 25-12. No ties, no lead changes. Bellingham moves on to the Elite 8 round. Stay tuned for our post-game show. You're watching exciting Bellingham High volleyball on ABMI and the National Federation High School Network. We're joined now by head coach Steve Montagani. Coach, step up here. What about the victory here tonight?
It was a great team victory tonight. I think everybody played well. I think they all worked together. It was nice to see them have some fun out there tonight.
It started pretty close. The first set was fairly close. The second set, I think it was 8 ties and 7 lead changes. Then you got a rhythm at about the 11th point.
Yeah, I thought we served a little bit better as we got into the second and third sets, and you could see the energy growing as they played a little bit better on defense.
Coach, your next up, I guess it's Weston. Do you know anything about Weston?
We know a little bit about them, but we'll work hard for them to come play us, not us to play them.
Okay, so good luck, Coach. We bring in Jacoby Houston, Val Nolan, Mia Milani. Jacoby, you had a couple of runs of some great serves. Step up a little closer. How did you do it?
I think the energy just brought us together, and yeah, we're so pumped.
What did they bring to the table? They had a great record coming in, 18 wins and 1 loss. You both played Hopedale. You swept them. They took them 3-2. What did they have going for them tonight?
They played scrappy, which was we just kept going, but at the end of the day, we were just hungry for a win.
Okay, bring in Val Nolan. Val, you had a few slams, and there was some great volleys in this game. How did you guys keep that ball alive?
Yeah, I just think that we were super pumped, and just the energy brought through each rally, and we just pulled it together.
Mia Milani, there were some great slams that you had, but I want to talk a couple of your finesse plays. Do you remember a couple of plays where you just tipped it with your left hand and just fell back? You have a great instinct for the game. Where'd you learn that?
I don't know. I think I just learned it from experience. And not every ball you're going to get is perfect, so you just have to better the ball as you get it.
A chance for you guys to play a lot of your substitutes. I thought you had a lot of subs in the game towards the end. What does that mean for your team?
That we're just so versatile, and we can put anyone on the court and still rely on everybody.
You move on, you keep dancing in the big dance. You go to the Elite 8. You'll have Weston. Will the team in the school be ready? When do they find out when they're playing?
Yeah, we're ready. We're hungry. We want the title.
Congratulations, girls. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so there we have it. Jacoba Houston, Val Nolan, and Mia Milani as Hawks win it in 3 straight sets. I'd like to thank you for joining our broadcast here tonight, for tuning in. Bellingham moves on to the Elite 8, and they'll play host to Weston at a date and time to be announced later. This is Pete Royce saying so long from Bellingham. The Hawks take it over Notre Dame. They advance. First set 25-10, second set 25-14, next set, the final set, 25-12. For Tyler James, our producer, this is Pete saying good night from Bellingham as the Hawks move on to the Elite 8. We'll see you, neighbors.